It's time to talk about that One Piece. Yo, we need to talk right now, bro. After that week break, I come back to this. I come back to Katakuri on some bullshit, finding out like, what are we doing here, people? What's going on? So, let's talk a little bit about good old Katakuri, aka, why y'all still calling him Dog Tooth? Stop it. So, one big thing that I found to be boss as hell, because I've already liked Katakuri. I think he's really cool. You can tell his popularity is going up. People are cosplaying as him. He's being included more and more in the chapters and shit like that. But after this chapter, from a manly man like myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm a manly man. I got 16,000 chest hairs, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm lying. I barely got like 3, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a manly man. And what I read about Katakuri in this chapter, homie was born, came out of the vag, sat up himself, and was like, yo, I'm taking a nap. I was like, bro, Katakuri, you a boss. How can you not fuck with Katakuri? On top of that, in the chapter, we get to see more and more of what we've already seen, which I can do nothing but respect again, because I'm a family man. You can clearly see, even though Katakuri's family members, his siblings, are pieces of shit, and they're rotten, Brule is an ugly piece of shit, he fucks with, you touch my family, I'm gonna go ham. So I can't do nothing but respect it. Now, granted, from our perspective as readers, we're looking at it as, you're the bad guy, you know what I'm saying? But if you think about it, he's just on the opposite side of the same coin as Luffy. He's doing exactly what Luffy's doing for his crew. It's just, from our perspective, they're the bad guys. But maybe Katakuri thinks, this is my family, you know, whether we're rotten or not, we rock and we're on the good side. So it's really interesting to see the parallels of Katakuri and Luffy are honestly very similar. Now, on top of that, I think it was a flag raised, and I'm going to explain a little bit, that Katakuri is definitely losing this. Because if you read any type of manga, if you read any type of storytelling, whenever they build up somebody as being undefeated, because Katakuri was said, he's never taken an L. He actually looks down, metaphorically, on the ground because he's never gotten put down on his ass before. I think that was a flag that, okay, you're taking one now, bro. You haven't taken one in the past, but you're about to take one now. So I think that was definitely a flag raised that, indeed, Luffy's gonna get the job done. How he's gonna do it, time will tell. But I do think that was definitely signifying Luffy's taking the win in this one. How he's gonna do it, I don't know, but I think that was another big flag raised. Throughout the chapter, once again, it's a desperate struggle. I mean, Katakuri is kicking his ass. This is great. Like, honestly, I think when this gets animated, this could potentially be on the level or somewhere close. And I know people are going to say, stop it. I'm comparing it to a legendary fight, but to Luffy versus Lucci. And that's a legendary fight in One Piece. You know what I'm saying? But Katakuri, I mean, I love it when the people that I root for really gotta struggle for it, and it looks like a really hopeless and desperate situation for Luffy. And throughout the chapter, once again, as we've seen in many of the chapters since this fight has started, Luffy is desperate. He's getting made fun of, which kind of makes me feel a certain way. I think Oda's doing a great job with having Brule talking shit and whatnot, and then hyping up her brother at the same time, Katakuri, because it's like, man, Luffy can't catch a break. On top of the fact that he can't do nothing to him, then he has this bitch that keeps on talking shit to him. Then you got Katakuri kind of like, so what do you want me to cut off first and shit like that. It really makes it feel desperate and great. And that's what I really like about it. Now, again, time will tell the outcome, and we still have a few more chapters to go till this is hopefully resolved. But I think it could potentially be, and it could even potentially be one of, if not the greatest fights in New World so far. Now let's talk about something else. Because some of Big Mom's peoples, I forget the name, is it Tagoma or whatever, like, Tamago, they're talking about the Straw Hats, and you can definitely see that they've ushered in and signified a change. Now, granted, their backs have been up against the wall throughout all of this. You know what I'm saying? Big Mom coming at them and all this crazy shit. It's been a real big struggle. However, if you look at what they've been able to accomplish in comparison to nobody's been able to do that, they took down Cracker, they fucked up the island, they put in work. It's just like, it's really been a desperate struggle. From the time they got to Whole Cake, it truly showcased, this is a Yonko. You've stepped into new territory. This is kind of like when Luffy went up against the Admirals back in the day, when he went up against Aokiji, Akainu, and Kizuru. You know what I'm saying? Like, you went into new territory. So yes, it's been a really hard thing. And you think about it, that's really great writing. It's supposed to be that way. Not supposed to be a good, easy run through or whatever. He struggled against Cracker. He struggled. He got his ass kicked by his own fucking comrade, Sanji. It's been struggle after another. But nevertheless, he's accomplished shit. They've accomplished shit. Whole cake is fucked. Crackers down. A lot of people got scattered and shit like that. Big Mom is in a psychosis right now. They got some shit done, and you could definitely see that people are starting to become believers and think like, Straw Hat, you know what I'm saying? At first, it was kind of like, yeah, he's a joke and shit like that, but just look what he's done. So he's definitely starting to get his name more out there, getting more respect, and people are starting to become believers. Really interesting stuff, and it progresses Luffy's name throughout New World, and people looking, or throughout the One Piece world in general, that Luffy's going to be something great, and they're even starting to recognize it. Big Mom's own people. Now let's talk about one big elephant in the room, because we get to see somewhat of the awakening of Katakuri in this one, and it's the Mochi Mochi. And to be honest with you, a lot of people are theorizing and whatever that maybe Luffy's going to be able to turn everything into rubber. To be honest with you, I kind of feel as though because of Luffy's abilities and shit like that, I don't necessarily see, but then again, because Katakuri has been so similar to him, it might be the case, but I don't see how Luffy turning everything into rubber will be an advantage to him. On top of that, he won't really necessarily know how to use his awakening like that because it'll be brand new to him, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Luffy is a quick learner, and he always has a lot of happy accidents, but I just don't see how turning everything into rubber is going to be a big benefit to Luffy in this fight against Katakuri. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm missing something, whatever, but a lot of people are going with that, and I kind of seeing it being the case. I don't want it to be the case. I would like for it to be maybe something where he can combine his, you know, new awakening, so to speak, with his gears. Maybe Gear 4th Awakened or some shit like that. That would be insane, and I think that that would be the perfect tool to have, not necessarily Gear 5th, but a greater transformation for Gear 4th. And I mean, you see Katakuri, he ain't shaking, and that's what's making me like, this chapter really made me like Katakuri. You know what I'm saying? It really made, I really like Katakuri. It made me like him even more. He's not quaking in his boots, and on top of that, something that made him a little bit more of, not necessarily a pioneer, but he's a change from the cuff, because most villains, you know, they talk their shit, blah blah blah. He was being real. He was like, I'm not used to motherfuckers dodging me this much, bro. You getting me tired. Like, what are you doing? Like, I really like Katakuri. I think he could go up there as one of my favorite new villains in New World, in the One Piece world, because like, he's really interesting. He's a breakaway from the mold. He's not cocky. He's just really honest. He cares about his family. His abilities are kind of similar to Luffy. He's not scared of Luffy. Like, there's a lot of things and a lot of traits about Katakuri that even this chapter provides to make me say, I fucked with it. I'm a believer. And a few other things going on in the chapter. We see that Big Mom is such in a psychosis that even though Brûlé was like, hey, let me tell you, bitch, I know where the Straw Hats are going, she's so crazed that it's not really helping. So again, another happy accident. I guess you could argue, you know, some people say it's convenient writing. To a certain degree, yeah, maybe you could say that that was one of the negatives of the chapter. It's like, hey, perfect opportunity. Big Mom could stop the Straw Hats in their tracks, but it does also make sense. She's in a crazed state. For her to snap out of it would actually go against the whole thing of when Big Mom is hungry and mad, nothing matters. She doesn't give a fuck. She is not the same. Now, if she was sane and not going into this hallucination, she would probably, oh, okay, they're going to that island, I'm going there. But because she's so out of it, it makes sense. It's convenient to a certain degree, but at least it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? If she snapped out of it, if anything, it'd be more bullshit. So I'm fine with that. I think the Straw Hats are going to dodge a bullet because of that and not have to really deal with Big Mom because she's going to be fucking everything up. And I mean, at this point, Big Mom is just like a wild fucking tornado. She's like a natural disaster at this point because she's just all over the place, you know what I'm saying? So kind of okay with that part, not my favorite part, not the most interesting part, because it's kind of like, okay, Big Mom fat ass is still on the water, you know what I'm saying? Whoop-de-doo, Basil, nothing there. And also a little controversy about Big Mom putting her soul in the tsunami or whatever. That cleared some things up, so a lot of people are not that heated with the chapter. And then of course the end, Germa and Beige as well. It seems as though this chapter was signifying the tides turning. This is the comeback now for the Straw Hats. Luffy is slowly but surely, I think he's going to start getting it, whether it's the new awakening or not the new awakening, his awakening, or new gear. Again, the gear with the rubber, you know, making the rubber walls and everything. And then the comeback, Germa. I mean, Germa doesn't really seem like, to be honest with you, the most strongest people. Again, I feel as though Sanji would have taken out Judge back then if Judge wasn't a little fucking piece of shit cheater, you know what I'm saying? So they're not the strongest, but they could help, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll show up for Luffy in his fight against Katakuri. I don't know. Personally, I just want that to be completely one-on-one. I would actually be very disappointed if Germa showed up on that side. Show up somewhere else. Also, we still got Sanji brand spanking new. He's not really all that fucked up. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on with Sanji. As a whole, the chapter, good chapter. I want to say 7.5 to an 8. I think the best thing about the chapter by far was getting more characterization of Katakuri, getting his awakening. Pretty sick shit. To be honest with you, I lean more towards the 8. 7.5 to an 8. I lean more towards the 8 because Katakuri just really introduced himself as an even greater badass, as a greater antagonist. Big Mom, big psychotic retard. She's hungry, she wants cake, and it's like, whatever, just send the fat bitch somewhere else right now. We don't got time for that. Luffy's struggle, really making it up there. So I gotta ask you guys a couple questions. One big thing, am I jumping off the fucking balcony by comparing this to potentially being on the level of Rob Lucci versus Luffy? I mean, the struggle is there. The interesting way of how he's going to come about this one is there. And to be honest with you, and again, this isn't to slight the Lucci versus Luffy. Again, I'm regarding it as a legendary fight in One Piece. The ending when Luffy got up, a little bit controversy. It's like, you were knocked out, you were tired, well, you know what I'm saying? So, a little bit there, but I don't know. It's looking like it's going to be real interesting. What do you think if Luffy truly gets his awakening? Because it seems as though they're really pushing the awakening theme throughout all of this. Do you think it's going to just be like he's going to turn everything into rubber? And how could he use it to his advantage? I mean, then again, maybe I'm talking on my ass, because if you think about it, Luffy using his gum fruit to begin with, you never really think, well, how is he going to use that to his advantage? He could do the same thing using these rubber walls, although I would like for it to, again, be something more of an addition to his own body, where he could be like Gear Fourth Awaken, which, again, that sounds so fucking sick. I don't know what exactly it'd be looking like. Maybe he'd just be a straight-up rubber thing and be absolutely silly, because we know with One Piece, with the designs, every time we think it's about to be something super badass and shit like that, it'll be halfway badass, but then halfway really funny and zany, because that's part of the course with One Piece, you know what I'm saying? Also, the Germa, what do you think about that? Again, it seems as though it's time to strike back. We got the Germa, we got Beige, we got Luffy. I think it's that time where things is going to start going in a different direction, where we've been struggling all this time. Now we're about to make a comeback. Also, what do you think about the Straw Hats making believers out of a lot of people? Again, yes, it's been one hell of a ride throughout all of Whole Cake, but they've got shit done. The island's fucked. Cracker's down. Katakuri's next, I guarantee it. The fact that he's undefeated, he is about to be defeated. He is about to be Undertaker at WrestleMania right now. Luffy's about to put in work, and Hulkamania is running wild, bitch. Terrible right there. And your overall thoughts of the chapter. Again, good to a very good. I think Big Mom right now is just kind of a lost cause. Like, the hype for Big Mom, I'm more so hyped about her people than herself when she's supposed to be the big Yonko. But she's crazy. She's fucking crazy. She wants some wedding cake up her ass. Your overall thoughts of the chapter. That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. Big Mom, get it together. Katakuri, you a boss. Yo, I still can't believe you came out of the vagina and sat up straight like, what are we doing here? Luffy, get it together. Get that awakening. Germa, y'all better. This is your last chance. You had your father crying like a pussy begging for. This is your last chance, Germa. Get it together. And, yeah, insane shit. Have an awesome day.